It will sunder all the living lands if we do not put a stop to it.
I know. I felt the lives lost.
It is inexcusable. The forces of nature must be kept in balance. This abuse cannot go unpunished. Power has a cost. If this is how it rules over its domain, it has shown that it cannot be trusted to wield it.
Regrettable. It could have learned from us.
It cannot reach us, nor we it. The damnable Adra separates us.
We were capable of great things once. We still are. If we find a way to build a bridge. No.
No? What do you mean?
We are too late. I sense a great shift in the Adra. One of our siblings has moved with terrible strength. What have they done?
May the hunt begin.
It's got a certain charm, doesn't it?
Does anyone have a copy of the Theorems of Pangram? I want to try something.
I wish I could help, sweetheart, but the only copy I know of was lost somewhere in the deer road.
Too bad. I've been looking into necromancy, just in case the envoy drops dead again.
You don't think Sabadal will work their trades?
Perhaps, but it's good to have a contingency plan.
Right. Necromancy is your plan?
You have a better one?
Nope. Necromancy it is then, I guess.
Perfect! I've been itching for an excuse to try my hand at necromancy.
closer. We have waited so long.
Huh. This is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that. Right. It's better that an Ediran envoy do it.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fior, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
Who knew an archmage could be so relatable?
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear ya. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
That's the spirit. And funny you should mention it. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
About that, before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal, set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? For once, I'm all out of ideas. Anyone else?
I'm a soldier. I prefer leaving these decisions to people like you, but if you're asking for input, I don't entirely disagree with Ludwig on this. She may be a monster, but she's not the only one the Living Lands has seen. Sapadal could render this whole island as barren as the tusks in a fit of anger.
Sapadal caused the Dream Scourge. All of this pain. I don't think I can forgive that. Especially after seeing Iancu. I just can't let that go.
Think of what we could learn from Sapadal. Perhaps there's a way we can keep everyone alive.
Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the Living Lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. just the one you believe in. Just one. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature, if you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. I know. They didn't understand the forces at play. At least I have a better idea of what I'm up against. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. Many years ago, when Fior Mesiverno was barely a dot on the map, an Animancer got lost in the wilderness. He came upon a pair of ancient trees, their trunks and branches intertwined. A strange light shone in the space between the trees, and beyond that light, a city of gold. So the Animancer returned with an axe to chop the trees apart and fit his body through the narrow gap. But with every blow of his axe, the towers of the golden city fell. The walls crumbled, the lights flickered out. By the time he made it through, there was nothing left. Only the bones of a once mighty civilization. As for the two trees, they were dead, hacked to splinters, leaving him no path back the way he came. Who said it was true? It's very strange. I can't remember who told me that story, and no one claims to have heard it before. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Messivernal, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valiant silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump. Very perceptive. What do you think it is? I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about yours. As an animancer, I hear that one a lot. These stories might not shine any light on the garden, but they could inform the way we think about it. First, the garden is beyond all mortal understanding. If you think you're safe here, you're not. And second, when you walk into the unknown, make sure to bring a friend. Life is full of such contradictions. I say it's better to acknowledge them rather than pretend they don't exist. Hey, you're a good listener. Not everyone has the patience to hold their questions to the end. Alas, that is all I can tell you about the garden. For now, at least. For you, anything. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsley gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsley taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsley protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. I'll tell you whatever I know. Who could rest at a time like this?
We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk. Tired already, Uncle? Well, I'll see you in the morning.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet. And judging from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. They're a few provocations away from disaster. I don't think anyone would handle that well. And what does that leave us with? A god who's been locked away and driven half-mad in isolation. Maybe it doesn't seem fair to punish Sapadal further. But it's worse to gamble every life in the living lands on the hope that Sapadal's done some real self-improvement. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Ediran comrades and the locals. And some days you wake up and the deck of your ship's covered in bird shit. You can clean it up or you can step in it. That's the choice. A lot of people aren't going to make that distinction. Especially when your Ambassador Heelguard hosted Ludwig in parodies for as long as her assistance was convenient. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in parodies. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. I don't think anyone else is going to understand the indirectly. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. What's on your mind? I barely plan further than the next meal, and you're asking me? I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared. I know. That's got to make this difficult advice to follow. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sapadal and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest, and when the moment comes, follow your instincts. And I stand by it. Next time you need to find a bakery, I'm your man. You're the one who found a god's prison. I hear you, though. It's easier to give that advice than to take it. But look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the Living Lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now. My favorite subject. I'm not sure I'll be much help, but I'll try. Shoot.
Check your bedroll for fangworms.
Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
God's no.
Why not? We've got everything we need. Crackling campfire, foreboding ambiance.
I actually need to get some rest tonight. I'd rather not spend the whole night screaming in my sleep.
Well, I lacked just.
Thank you, Yatsy. I suppose I owe the rest of you an apology. I didn't mean to frighten anyone.
Your stories are very good. They're just feeling a little too close to reality right now.
I'll try and think of something more pleasant then. Like a mouse and a rabbit going on pathetic little adventures.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her, no one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too, when she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns. Pleasant dreams.
Looks like we'll have to find another way through. Or not. I think we've found Sapadal's home.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sapadal's cage.
worth and wrong!
Easy when you do it.
Defend!
Here. Oh, I missed.
Defend! Avowed sea!
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her, no one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too, when she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns. If I must.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. The moon has many faces, different songs for different days. We know your light. We seek what swims inside you as you wane. We wonder. Deer leaps at its reflection in the lake. A debt of knowledge we concede. The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered, This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. At least I'm not going mad. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Don't be ridiculous. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
I don't know what to say. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. But that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. and they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual, organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends, drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
A garden is whatever you plant in it.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade. Death is indifferent, not cruel, not merciful, merely inevitable. The pulling of an ancient weed.
We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's. Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
Giada's parents would be proud, and maybe a bit worried.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you?
Don't worry about me. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I'm complicated. But at least I know what happened to my parents.
Knowing's one thing. Feeling okay about it's another.
Yes, that part could take a while.
As long as it doesn't turn into a ghost story, I'm here if you need to talk.
I'm talking right now.
It won't be easy, but you have to let yourself feel it. All of it. Even the parts that hurt, like a blessed saltfly bite.
Just be kind to yourself, dearie.
I don't know what to say, except I'm grateful to know each of you.
Envoy, what do you need? that before I've done some reading.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
It seems I was not clear enough when I last spoke with you.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods can only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos threatens us all. We will ensure order prevails. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I did. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You dare claim the domain of the gods is trivial? True leaders make choices when others would turn away.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Edир is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying the rod until it understands. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
If you insist. Yatsli, well done.
Under my protection! On your left!
What is that? I know that place, right? No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here, and for a purpose.
Oh, I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
I have as much closure as I'm going to get. I am part of this land's god now. A dream of the land.
Were you always such a blessed day poet? Or is that a death thing?
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. More like tolerate, in my case, but right.
See what I put up with, Envoy? Still wonder why I left Solace?
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Sorry, Envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right?
and roll!
Careful, to the left!
Envoy, watch your left!
No one was left to clean up the battlefield. Now it's just a time-forgotten ruin.
Let's finish this.
Listen! Take worth and roll! Worth and roll! Lava Ruby on Seek! Listen!
was a close one. Just a little spice. Power goes a long way. I recognize this. It belongs to Tama.
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. Before we visited his memorial, yes. But I thought I'd broken free. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? Then why does he look so unfamiliar? I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I did. You know, it never occurred to me how much he would have hated that. But this Tama's more than that. All his moments at once, joy, sadness, anger, or heartbreak, stomachache, everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. when he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. Yeah. I never realized what an injustice I was doing to us both. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. And now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? They've certainly suffered enough for one. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always. Thank you for facing that with me. Let's go deal with your god.
Charge it up. Just a little spark. Charge it up. Power goes a long way.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I think it did. You really did seem at peace, right? I imagine most encounters with dead old friends don't, go so well. I owe a lot of that to you, Envoy. You helped me be someone who could handle Sokka like that. Thank you. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. If I must. So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No. They were Sapadal's dreams given life. Ancient sentinels bound by loyalty.
And they were plants because...
Because that's all Sapadal knew how to make. A smithy smiths, a baker bakes, a gardener gardens.
Right, I understand.
It's alright if you don't.
Good, because I really don't.
You restless too? It's hard to tell how much time is passing.
Try to get some rest.
Just a little spark. A little goes a long way.
Worth and wrong!
Well struck!
Worth and wrong!
Charge it up. Just a little spark. Charge it up. The hidden power goes a long way. I should have brought my sketchbook.
Worth and roll!
For a second.
is happening? Does the affliction fester even here? It threatens our heart. We cannot fight this invasion alone. See clearly. We must. We must. We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before. A curse. Ancient whispers. Do not let it escape, they said. We feel no spark of the Tibaris Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. Why would they not create with us? They took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. A chill in our spine. How could we name it? First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. No! We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they track the stars? Then, they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. They could not destroy us. They would destroy all who knew us. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Our flailing smothered the cries. Were they theirs? Ours? The needle struck. They raised machines. We tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. Not death. Worse. A void. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. A chill wind. Our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. We are the rain, the swaying grass. What do they have to fear? We speak, though we are bound. Perhaps our soul was always free. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.